About morals. The first question here, who do you think should teach morals, parents or teachers? How would you answer this question?
Mm. I would pick a side. I would say parents should teach students morals because they are very close with their
Mhm,
children. They are always there side by side with their children. That's why they can teach their kids everyday lessons in ethics and morality.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. So, I totally agree with you. I believe that parents,
What is going on? What is going on? Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is everything okay?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what'd you say?
My internet connection seems to be fine. Okay. Yes. So as I was saying, what do you think about the idea of teachers teaching morals to children at school?
Mm, I don't, I think it is fine as long
Mhm,
as teachers don't impose any bizarre
mhm,
ideas on students.
mhm,
I know that teachers can be tools for the government and
mhm,
they can relay like propaganda and so many like, I don't know, there are so many conspiracies around that I think it is the best interest of students to have their parents who teach
mhm,
them morality and ethics.
mhm. Very good answer. Wonderful. When you want to motivate people to do the right thing, what do you think is more effective, rewarding someone for doing the right thing or punishing them for doing the wrong thing? So it's a question of reward motivation versus fear motivation.
Mm, I think both should be in effect because,
I think both methods should be in
yeah,
effect or applied. Maybe applied is the right word.
yeah, I think
Okay.
both methods should be applied here
Mm-hmm.
because you need like a balance between encouragement and punishment
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to perpetuate good behaviors in society.
Mm-hmm.
If there are too much punishment, society
Mm-hmm.
will be overwhelmed with fear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
On the
If
other,
there is too much punishment, society would be, not will be, but would be.
yeah, would be over would be overwhelmed with fear.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if
Mm-hmm.
there is too much reward, there are
Mm-hmm.
too many or too much, I don't know.
If if there are too many rewards given.
If there are too many rewards given,
Mm-hmm.
um, people would uh overestimate themselves
Mm-hmm.
and kind of, and exercise behaviors outside of boundaries.
Mm-hmm. So there should be a healthy balance between the two, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Maintain a healthy balance between the two methods, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're very well spoken. I'm very impressed with your vocabulary range. You can use very complicated words, something I'm not used to with my other students. So I'm very impressed. Maintain a balance between the two methods. All right. Moving on to the next question. How effective do you think organizations like the UN are in encouraging people to do the right thing?
Um, I think they can be a
Mediator.
mediator
Mhm,
between different countries of
mhm,
with different interests.
mhm, mhm,
Um, just like a third party in any like couples counseling session,
mhm,
when countries fight, or have
Mhm.
conflicts, the UN can
Mhm.
step in and
Mhm.
interfere to result in like good decisions. However, I think they they are kind of biased towards the West
Mhm.
because it is sponsored by the West. So I do believe that the UN is very ignorant and ineffective sometimes.
Mhm. Ignorant. Not ignorant, but ignorant.
Ignorant, yeah.
Ignorant. Do you believe that we are all basically good?
Mm. Uh, well, if a child is born,
Mhm.
that child is
Mhm.
pure and like a blank paper. That child is basically a good
Mhm.
person,
Mhm.
but something along the way, there's the environmental factor that
Mhm.
can negatively like impacts a child's personality.
Mhm.
We should also take into account mental health. Some people
Mhm.
developed mental health along the way,
Mhm.
which results in crimes
Mhm.
and yeah, and a complete change in their personality.
Mhm.
So I do think there is this like a mix between like natural versus nurture,
Nature versus nurture.
nature versus nurture. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting theory. Is war ever justified? If so, why? If
Mm.
not, why not?
Um, I don't think war should be justified ever
Mhm.
because they only cause
I
calamity.
don't think war should ever be justified.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, they only cause calamities and
Mhm.
atrocities among
Mhm.
innocent civilians.
Mhm.
They are basically like tools to exercise power and
Mhm.
control.
Mhm.
If we look at the Ukraine war, we can see
Mhm.
that it is a proxy war
Mhm.
by the West to fight against Russia, to
Mhm.
wage against Russia.
Mhm.
Sometimes, some if a country is too greedy, for example, like China in the past, they could invade other small countries like
Mhm.
Vietnam
Mhm. Mhm.
to claim lands. So it's all about like having too much power. So
Mhm.
I think it's not
Mhm.
war should not be encouraged. War should be stopped
Mhm.
at all
Mhm.
cost.
Mhm. A selfish pursuit of power, right? Yeah. All right. Wonderful answer. How can countries who have a disagreement solve their disagreements without going to war?
Mhm. I believe we should set aside our differences
Mhm. Mhm.
and just coexist in peace.
Mhm.
Every country should just mind their own business and
Mhm.
cooperate in trade and in
Mhm.
peace.
Mhm.
Um, that is the basis of every civil society.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's easier said than done, right? Because looking back at human history up till today, war has been prevalent in our society, in humanity, unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm. How is my pronunciation?
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
I'm honestly like I think I mispronounce some words sometimes, especially ending
Mhm.
sounds
Mhm.
and like
Especially what sounds?
ending sounds and like
Uh-huh.
between like short and long vowel, like I and IE, not like
I
that.
have a very eccentric method that I suggest my students for them, in order if you want to improve your pronunciation, tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are a good method. It's not just for children. Adults can can do can they sometimes practice tongue twisters. Usually, if you watch movies or TV shows, there would be like a news anchor or news reporter who would practice a tongue twister before being on camera, right? Before talking on camera. So it's not just for kids. They are also used by actors, politicians, and public speakers who want to sound clear when speaking. So I highly recommend that you practice some tongue twisters before the next IELTS speaking examination so
Okay.
that, yes. So that's a link to
Not again. Hello. Hi, y'all.
English tongue twisters to practice to improve pronunciation. It's an unconventional method, very, interesting and funny method, but it's actually, surprisingly effective.
Mm,
Okay.
that's good.
Moving on. Yes, but so far, if I have to comment on your pronunciation, it has been thus far very understandable and very clear. I don't have any complaints whatsoever about your pronunciation. Okay. How important is it to be an honest person?
Mm. Well, in theory, we should all be honest
Mm-hmm.
because we should have morals over ourselves and other people
Mm-hmm.
around us.
Mm-hmm.
However, in this society, it is best to lie sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because most of us are just subordinates of someone else. Um, for example, if my boss demands too much from me, I can lie by saying I've already done my work.
Mm-hmm.
That way, that white lie, it's actually beneficial for my mental health and my long-term productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Should you tell the truth even if it hurts someone?
Mm. Um, I think we should, I think it depends on the truth. Some truths should just be hidden forever because they are too disgusting and too I don't know, too I don't know how to say it, but too disgusting and too cruel.
You could say too vulgar, too offensive.
Yeah, too vulgar, too cruel to be revealed.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Too vulgar to be spoken or to mention, too vulgar to mention.
mhm.
Yeah. Some truths can be too vulgar to mention, too offensive. You can also say too impolite,
Yeah, yeah.
too disrespectful, too rude. You can also say too controversial,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I know these words, but I just
Okay.
cannot think on the spot. Okay. Um, uh, regardless, we
hmm
should just reveal the truths
hmm
because sometimes if the person discovers that we lied to them, they
hmm
would feel more betrayed
hmm
and hate us even more.
hmm
We can also choose how we phrase to reveal the truth. We can use euphemism or
hmm
paraphrase it in a soft and gentle way to
hmm
lower the chance that they feel hurt.
Very good. To minimize the chances,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Minimize the chances
Yeah.
of the person getting hurt or, of minimize the chances of their feelings getting hurt. Wonderful. You have an excellent vocabulary range. I'm really impressed. All right. In what situations that's a misspelling there, a mistake in spelling. In what situations do you think it's acceptable to tell a lie?
Mm. As I mentioned
Mhm,
before,
mhm,
um, If we
As I
are,
previously mentioned. Feel better.
as I previously mentioned,
Mhm,
I need to emphasize the ed there, you know,
mhm.
because the examiner will be like, oh, this bitch doesn't mention an ed. Doesn't say any ed or any sound. Like, yeah.
Wow.
I talk like an AI. That's why I talk like an AI. Freaking
Oh,
hell.
wow.
I hate.
I had
Um,
no idea IELTS examiners were so meticulous in the details.
I don't know.
Wow.
I heard that, but I'm not sure. Um, in what situation? Okay. Like as I previously mentioned,
Mhm,
um, if we if we are if we are submissive, if we are less powerful, then
Powerless,
what?
less powerful or more powerless. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if we are less powerful than someone, it is better to lie to that
Mhm,
person to
mhm,
advance in life.
mhm,
Um, especially if that person is abusive or demanding, too
mhm,
demanding.
mhm, mhm,
Um, sometimes kids should also be lied to because it is better for them to not discover the harsh realities of the world.
mhm,
Yeah, they are too young and too vulnerable to
mhm,
be exposed to these horrible truths.
mhm.
Yeah.
Very good. What are some telltale signs that someone is telling a lie?
Uh, I guess body gestures can
Mhm,
uncover
mhm.
can uncover can uncover the truth. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
they can avert their eyes
Mhm,
and fidget their body
mhm, mhm,
when they tell lies.
mhm,
There are uh there are potential illogical ideas or
mhm.
in their statements
Yes.
that we
Nonsensical
yeah
statements, right?
yeah there are nonsensical statements um that they can that we can identify in their
Mhm,
speech.
mhm. Very good. Illogical, nonsensical statements. Very good. So, gestures, maybe facial expressions, right? Words or clues that don't add up.
Yeah, I like that phrase, don't add up. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'll type that down for you. You could say events that don't add up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next question. Um, how do you feel when someone lies to you?
Mm-hmm. I
Mhm,
I would mostly feel betrayed, to be
mhm,
honest,
mhm,
because I trust that person. I
mhm,
tend to trust people easily.
mhm,
So if I discover that they lied to me,
mhm,
I would feel very mad and I would expect them to tell me the truth all the time, even though
mhm,
I told you earlier that we can lie sometimes.
mhm.
So I
Although I did mention earlier that we can lie sometimes, or
not
that we are permissible to lie sometimes. Yeah.
so why can't I use told?
Although I did mention earlier, the reason why is because I think it's just too rudimentary.
Okay.
Something that an elementary student would say.
Oh,
It's yeah. So it's incompatible with your level of English, which I believe to be upper intermediate or advanced level.
yeah.
So yeah,
I agree.
yeah. Although I did mention earlier that. So although I told you that is too rudimentary. It's something that, as I mentioned, like an elementary student would say,
Right.
told you before. It's too rudimentary.
Yeah.
Yes, please continue what you were saying.
Yeah. So I guess that's just hypocritical of me
Hmm.
to say that earlier on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So we have reached the end of the question list here, but we still have a couple of minutes left. I did send you um, a website, a link to this website, right? And there are ethical discussions here, questions. So very similar to the questions that we viewed earlier in the website that you have provided for me. So
Mm.
let me choose.
Just pick number one.
Okay. Number four is good. What do you think about this one? Animal testing. Is it ethical to use animals for testing products or scientific research?
Uh, mm, I don't think it is ethical
Mm-hmm.
to abuse animals for
Mm-hmm.
scientific research
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because there is advancement in our method of testing
Mm-hmm.
that does not inflict pain upon these animals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess I don't want to cause pain because animals often go through excruciating pain
Mm-hmm.
when they undergo these tests.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I guess it's another hypocritical thing of me to say because I am a carnivore. I eat meat as well, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want animals to suffer for long. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just want them like a quick and painless death.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want them to have quick and painless deaths. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent answer. I would much rather see animals undergo quick and painless deaths as opposed to slow and painful ones, right? Okay, so I'll type that down for you. I would much rather, I would prefer, right? I would prefer the animals to undergo quick and painless deaths as opposed to slow and painful ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next question. Oh, there's an advertisement. Um, Number seven, is it ethical to prioritize the education of gifted students over those with learning difficulties or disabilities? Why or why not?
Mm. I believe that students with disabilities should also be given equal access to education
Mhm,
because they are, first of all, they are humans as well. So they have
mhm,
feelings. If they feel neglected, they would
mhm,
become, they would be hurt and become, like, they would be affected by mental health,
mhm, mhm,
which makes them liabilities, more of a liability to society.
mhm,
Um, Other than that, I also think many disabled students have potential to excel at
mhm,
many fields.
mhm,
I know that many students with Down syndrome or uh, Asperger syndrome
mhm.
have excellent IQ and critical thinking skills. Yeah, so I think we should pay attention to them equally.
Okay. We should pay equal attention to them.
Pay equal
Yeah,
attention. Okay.
yes. Moving on to the next one. This is a good one. Number 10. Do you believe that individuals have a moral obligation to vote in political elections?
Moral obligation.
Mhm. In
Um,
some countries, including the United States, it is optional. It is not a legal requirement, right, to vote in a political election. I'm not sure about other countries. Maybe it is a legal requirement. But in terms of moral obligation, do you think that we have a moral obligation to vote?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Not voting does not make us uh horrible people, like
Mhm.
unethical people. We
Mhm.
can choose to not vote if we don't find any candidates suitable for leading our countries.
Mhm.
I also believe that elections are useless anyway because
Mhm.
these political candidates are puppets of
Mhm.
certain groups of people.
Mhm.
So I don't think our voting power
Mhm.
has any effect at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Very good, but I don't know about expressing strong ideas like that in the ALT examination. Like
Yeah, I think these questions
calling,
are too
yeah,
um, controversial
yes,
for the IELTS test, you know.
yes,
But it's
yes.
good. It's good to practice my
Yeah,
English.
it's a good exercise, excellent exercise. It's a good opportunity for you to exercise your critical thinking skills and to express your opinions in English. But, for example, calling politicians puppets might be a controversial opinion because what if the examiner he's a supporter of politicians, or she is a supporter of, politicians. He or she might not take that well.
Yeah.
So you should definitely, I encourage you to to express your opinions, but I also suggest that you avoid potentially offending or insulting someone's thoughts and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything was great. Yeah. Everything else was great. Okay. Because I honestly don't like politicians either, but I'm afraid to say that to an examiner because what if the examiner,
Yeah.
what if he likes he's a supporter of politicians and is a strong supporter of the government? We don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know. I guess that's it. I think we have unfortunately run out of time.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
your lessons are good. I think I might subscribe more, you know.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy
I
that, I'm sorry?
like your vibe. I like your vibe and I like your vibe a lot, like positive vibe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's
Okay.
such a pleasure to talk with you and to listen to your answers as well. You're a very smart person, and I really enjoyed listening to your thoughts and views and opinions and perspectives on a variety of things.
Mhm.
So thank you for this wonderful conversation. So nice to meet you, and I hope to see you again.
Bye,
Thank
Mira.
you. Bye. Have a good day. Bye, Mai. Take care.